Hey everybody. Thank you so much for being here. If you're seeing this video, it's because you've signed up for our 6-part email course on the E.N.G.A.G.E method. And I'm so excited about the E.N.G.A.G.E method, and let me tell you why. In our different communities, on our platforms, it's come to my attention that parents are looking for an engaging way to read to their children. I'm so excited about this method, the E.N.G.A.G.E method. It's my way of making reading simple for parents. You come home after a long day of work, a long day of adulting, and you need to read with your children. There's so many reasons and so many benefits, but one of the biggest ways is because we want to connect with them, right? We want to give them vocabulary. We want to give them a foundation for school. We want to make sure that they know how to express themselves. We want them to know, to see themselves in books, because it's important for motivation and for their self-esteem and so many other reasons. There's so many benefits and reasons for reading to our children. So I developed this E.N.G.A.G.E method as a simple 6-part strategy that you can use to engage your child in reading. And it just makes it easy to connect with them through the book without it feeling like work, because we want it to be stress-free. We want to bring the magic back to story time while also making it something that that we know when we're doing it, it's working. Like, we're connecting with them in the way that we're meant to connect, and we're giving them what they need in order to be successful in life. So we have this 6-part E.N.G.A.G.E method. If you're seeing this, you got the PDF and you know what the E.N.G.A.G.E method is, but I'll just go through it real quick. And on the rest of the video, after I go through the method, we'll just talk about part 1, how to entice them in a story. So number 1 is entice them with the cover, the title, or the first line of the story. Number 2 is notice something with them. Number 3 is give life to the voices. And this session is going to be fun because I get a little crazy with the voices, y'all. Number 4 is apply a personal touch. Number 5 is to gather feedback with simple yet effective questions. We don't want this to feel like the SATs, y'all. And then number 6 is an ending swap. And this is something that I have been doing with my son for a few years now. Okay, so entice them with the cover, the title, or the first line of the story. So how are we enticing them? I just bought a couple books over here just to show you some examples of how we entice them in the story. So this book is one I love. It's Soul Food Sunday by Winsome Bingham, illustrated by C.G. Esperanza. You can already see, especially if we're allowing them to choose the book, right, that there's so many ways here to entice them with the cover of the book. There's so many elements on the page. Like, look at the way, well, I'll use Aidyn, okay? Aidyn, look at the way the words are dancing on the page. Isn't that cool? Like, give them life, like personify the book so that they're so much more interested in it. And then, I think that's his grandma. I'm like, who do you think that is? We read the book, we'll find out. Oh, what's that she's holding on her plate? That looks heavy. Or, what's this vegetable? I don't know what this vegetable is. Do you know what that is? The little boy here with the cheese grater. You can bring him, into the story. Oh, doesn't he look cool? Don't you love when you cook with me, or when you cook with grandma or my mom, or, whatever you call her, or the title. Entice them with the title. Soul Food Sunday. Oh, we love soul food. And maybe you can use it as a time. Maybe your kids don't know what soul food is. Maybe you can use this as a time to tell them what soul food is. Do you guys eat family dinner on Sundays? What day do you eat family dinner? You can talk about that. Talk about all the colors. Bring them in. Don't you love all the colors on this cover, Aidyn? What colors speak to you the most, or which colors pop out to you the most? Do you like his haircut? Isn't it cool how they made grandmom's hair purple? There's so many ways to entice them, and once you bring them into the story, more than likely they'll sit down with you and want to read and know what the pages of the book will unfold. And so you can also do it. We talked about the title, and we'll also talk about the first line of the story. So one of my favorite methods when, and I'm skipping over a couple things here because I also talk about behind the jacket with my son. We go through the jacket. We talk about the year the book was written. and how that may impact the story, different things like that. All right. So the first line, this is how I entice. No matter what the book is, and I'll show you this in every book, I take my time and I lean into it and I make sure that he's looking or listening, because that's important, right? Because I have a bounce about kid. He's 8 now, but I can't get him to sit still for a story. And that may surprise some of you, but he's listening. So he may be fiddling with something. He may be standing up while I'm sitting. He does that a lot. At bedtime, when we read, I'm sitting down with the book, and he's standing up on the bed, falling off the bed, doing all this stuff, but I know he's listening. And so I'll read the first line of any book very slowly. On Sundays, everyone gathers at Granny's for soul food. So many different ways you can read this. On Sundays, everyone gathers at Granny's for soul food. On Sundays, everyone gathers at Granny's for soul food. You can rush through it. Or you can say, on Sundays, everyone gathers at Granny's for soul food. And it's inviting. Did y'all feel like that was inviting? When you read it slow, you take the time with each word. It helps to pace the story. It helps to lead into the mood of the story. Most picture books, if done well, have appropriate pacing, right? So it's okay. So we want to lean into the story. On Sundays, everyone gathers at Granny's for soul food. And you look at the page and you take it in. And you entice them with the first line. J.R.'s Biggest Fan by Sheila R. Thomas. Illustrated by Tulip Studio. So I'm going to go to the first page and I'm just going to give you guys another example. Different ways to entice here. JR's biggest fan. Who do you think JR is? You think JR's a little boy? Who's your biggest fan? Do you think mommy's your biggest fan? Do you think daddy's your biggest fan? Well, look at that color shirt he has on. Oh, that's your favorite color. Isn't that your favorite color? Different things that you can pull out with the cover, the title, and then the first line. JR loved to try new things. Today, he rode on the swings. As opposed to, JR loved to try new things. Today, he rode on the swings. When you read it quickly like that, you don't have a chance to get into the story. JR loved to try new things. Today, he rode on the swings. This is another favorite author of ours in the community. Riley Madison Discovers the Superpowers of Time by E.N.G.A.G.E. Illustrated by her daughter, Riley Akers. That is something that you can already entice them with. Her daughter is the illustrator. Do your kiddos like to draw? Right? You can talk to them about that. Look at this crazy costume she's wearing. There are so many things that you can entice them with. The fun elements, the zigzags on the page, Why do you think she left this black and white in the back? Ask your child that. So much color everywhere else. Why is it just black and white in the back? If you had a costume, Aidyn, if you could wear an animal costume, would you pick a flamingo? What would you choose? Bring them into the story from the beginning. I'm telling you, you'll be delighted. That was part 1 of the 6-part method to an effortless and enjoyable story time, the E.N.G.A.G.E method. Number 1, entice, with the cover, the title, or the first line of the story. Feel free to reply back. Let me know if you have any questions, if you want more examples, if you have a book that you might want to read and you're not sure how to lead into it, or maybe even what to pull out, right? Maybe you don't know what to pull out of the cover or the title or the first line. Feel free to ask. Thank you guys. Have an enjoyable story time tonight. Oh, let me know what you guys plan to read tonight. I love discovering new books. Bye.